We have head UTSA softball coach Vann Stuedeman's weekly media availability. Today is April 24th, 2025. Roadrunners split. A couple midweeks against Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, and Tarleton State. And they'll turn their attention towards senior weekend against Tulsa. Coach, if you could start us off an opening statement.
Yes, thanks, Ryan. We are really barreling down here to the last 2 weeks of the season. I've got two seniors here with me today, 4-year seniors. They've been here all 4 years, and I've just had the pleasure of coaching them 2 years, and they have really bought into the vision of the coaching staff and are setting the groundwork for the future of this program to continue to build.
We have senior shortstop Cameron Robillard on camera left, and on camera right, senior outfielder Lindsey Davis. And what I'm kind of interested in from both of y'all is, you came in under a different coaching staff, and you decided to stick around and help build the foundation here with Vann. What went into that decision, and what do you hope the legacy is that you leave here?
You want to go, Lindsay?
Whoever wants to go first.
You start it. You got it.
Oh, okay. So like Ryan said, I'm Lindsay, senior outfielder. And for me, this coaching change was something that has been very, highly anticipated. Vann has a extremely credible history that she's done and the wake of excellence that she's left behind her. So for me, it was a no-brainer to stick around and get on board with what we were doing because of the trajectory and the experience and the credibility that she had. For me personally, it was a great, in my opinion, a great hire and a great way to show the conference and the rest of the softball community that we are taking this very seriously, and bringing her on, I think, was a great move, and it's proven to be right, and it was just a great opportunity for us to really show everybody that we mean business.
Yeah, I would just say I'm super grateful to have gotten to play for two great coaching staffs. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the first coaching staff, and they're amazing. I only have good things to say about them, but change is necessary, change is good, and Vann is awesome, and we got so lucky. She's a badass. I don't know if I can say that, but I'm just so eternally grateful to have gotten to play for a coach like you, and I'm so excited to see what we can do at the end of the season, and then after that, see what y'all can do, because it's so exciting.
Man, when you came in and you were kind of evaluating your roster, looking at what you had, did you immediately know these two were going to make an impact on your team, or what kind of went into deciding how they would fit into things?
You come in and you're trying to learn the personalities and the physical skill. Everything is on fast forward. You haven't had the time to recruit them and spend the several years that goes into bringing kids into a program, and so everything is like drinking from a fire hose and trying to figure out whose voices are heard and what skill sets these kids have. And I knew early on that they were both very strong-headed young ladies. Which is a good thing, and it's a good thing. And then I knew that they were both impactful in what they said and in their actions. And people were taking note of what the other student athletes were taking note of what these two were bringing to the table. So it was important early on to get them on board, to get them in line with the coach's visions and what we want for the program moving forward. And they've both proven to be just exactly what we needed them to be. Neither one has had just an easy ride. They've both had to really fight and earn their opportunities, and that gives them credibility. It says, I'm willing to fight, and I'm willing to work hard, and I'm willing to put the team in front of myself for the best outcome. And then they've done those things, and then they've earned these opportunities that they've had this year, and I mean, and last year too. They both have just grown immensely in their softball skills, but they've both grown immensely as in leadership, and it's been a pleasure to have had the opportunity to know them and to work alongside them.
Yeah. So Cam and Lindsay, what's it like? One, hearing that, out loud, you are leaders on this team. And is that something y'all kind of aimed for throughout your 4 years? And really, what's the process been like going from a freshman to like somebody that freshmen now are looking up to?
Yeah, since my freshman year, I've always had, someone I've looked up to. My freshman year was Riley Grunberg. That was someone I always looked to. Last year it was Taylor. She was there the year before too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Taylor Jensen. I just thought she was so cool and good at softball, and I was like, I want to be like her. This year it's been Chrisleen. She's another senior. I'm a senior. I'm still looking up to people. But I've always been told that I have natural leadership and people naturally follow me, good or bad, and Vann's made that apparent to me. And it was definitely a huge life lesson that people do follow me and people do tend to, see the things I do and whatever. I just think it's awesome that I've gotten to learn and grow with Vann and hopefully leave a positive impact on this team.
Yeah, so my journey is a lot different than Cam's was. She was an insanely impactful the moment that she got here. Whether she knows it or not, she's always been somebody that people have looked to and sought out for direction and for leadership. Even as young as like freshman and sophomore year, people were always, well, what's Cam doing? And keeping her like in the front of their minds as like when decision making is going on. So my journey's a bit different in that I was more of the laid back type. I was more of an observer. And I learned very quickly I learned slowly that if I wanted to have an impact on this team and if I wanted to help people like Cameron, I needed to be vocal and I needed to get on board and be fully bought in. And coming through a program where you put a lot on the line and you put your heart out there and things don't go your way, that's really, really hard. So for me, it was learning how to be okay with putting my heart and soul and everything into it and still getting hurt and still coming back the next day and doing it all over again. So I would say last year I really figured out what that felt like for me, and then I've just been able to recreate that. And I'm glad that I can be somebody to help be an example to the younger ones.
Vann, we'll close with this. It seems like the team's really starting to figure things out, maybe one or two aspects away from putting together some full, complete games. So what's it going to take to get a couple victories over Tulsa this weekend?
We've got to compete. Every player on the team has to compete every pitch. We can't decide if we're going to turn it on in the third inning or one player's going to compete and the other player's not ready to compete that day. We need everybody with the right mindset at the same time, clicking on all cylinders. And we really do have what it takes to have a great weekend and to have a great last 2 weeks in conference tournament and see where that goes. We just have to make up our minds to compete. And it's like Lindsay said, I think sometimes we protect ourselves because we don't want to get hurt. And it's a risk, and we have to put it all out there, compete as hard as we can, and let the scoreboard, show up at the end of the game. And I think that's going to be the key to the weekend is if we come to play ball every pitch, we are going to set ourselves up for success. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm going to be asking for. And really just some mental strength and mental maturity as we go into senior weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
Birds up.